It's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Hello everyone, welcome to this Week in Stupid for the 3rd of October 2020. I'm going to share you something which has transpired in my life right now. You see, my fiance likes it when I play video games. She likes to watch, especially when I play horror games, because she does not have the courage to play horror games herself, so she likes to watch me doing it. Unfortunately, I need to explain to her, woman, I do not have time. I need to work. I can't play horror games. Okay, I can't play video games in general. And I need to make videos, entertain my subscribers. So a middle ground solution was found. I showed her Gaura Gura and helped her find the channel, show her how Gura plays Outlast, and now my fiance is upset at me. She's upset because she's like, well, why can't you make the super chats that Gura makes? Why can't you be as funny and charismatic as Gura? Why can't you improve V? Why can't you be better? Just be better. So here I am thinking that I have the winning argument. I shift 6 mana and I play the Dodo Meta card. I'm like, look, if you like Gura so much, why don't you marry her? And I thought the conversation is over. I mean, there's nothing else to add. You know, I thought that I outwitted her. And she goes like, well, you know what? Maybe I will. So, yeah, that was how that conversation ended. But on Twitter, there's other conversations. Yeah, about the Halo streamers. A lot of men and women are asking the question, like, why are so many guys obsessed about anime girls? Like, if you're going to watch, why can't you watch a real woman? Like, why can't you watch a real flesh and blood woman? Why do you watch an anime character? And you know, like, I wanted to find out. It's, I guess, good question. Why do men choose to watch anime character over flesh and blood women? So, whenever I want to find out about something, I try to look at both sides of the issue, right? So, let's compare the flesh and blood women with the anime characters, shall we?
Whole speech about how I need subs and to get the stream going if you like the content, blah, blah, blah. How that results in 0 subs. There are regulars here. $5 a month. How do you have hours of time to watch me and not $5? I don't know. What are you doing with your life where you have hours of time to watch Twitch and not $5 to provide for the content that you're watching?
I've also heard that a lot of people have been picking up drawing again or picking up their hobbies again after watching my stream. And I'm sorry. It really makes me happy because that's one of the biggest reasons I wanted to do. Well, I wanted to become a VTuber. Anyways, 무리다. Yeah, ごめんなさい. I'm sorry. Oh, my tear ducts are too weak.
Yeah, man, I mean, I really can't understand why do people like to watch these anime girls. It's completely baffling. It's a mystery. We need Sherlock Holmes in order to figure it out. Now, let's talk a little bit about video games, because this is really funny. Apparently, Drachman came out of hiding, and he is thinking that the reason his game is bad is because he has a muscular female character in it. Right? He doesn't explain why other people seem to like other games with muscular female characters, but they're like, he's dead set on it. It's like a bigot. You know, you can't change his mind about the reason. So, I would like to give him some criticism, which is taken by YouTubers who, you know, actually had to purchase the game. They didn't get it for free from the company like most California game reviewers that are like, oh, 10 out of 10, best game ever. Look at this. This is just absolutely beautiful. We got PewDiePie, everything was a mess. Penguin Zero, wet fart of a game. I expected better from this franchise. You know, I think this probably cuts the worst. Because this is Angry Joe speaking. Like, this guy was a progressive. Like, this guy was actually hyped about this game. Are you out of your mind? We got two Angry Joes here. Worst sequel since World War II, says internet historian. Yikes. And we even have a Mauler here. Let me know. 3 out of 10 from Mauler. I mean, Jesus. This is painful. Absolutely painful. Now, the next news comes from Romania. And we have the Prime Minister being angry at teachers. High school teachers. Because he is saying that if a teacher only spends 6 hours online teaching, then he should only be paid for 6 hours. He shouldn't be paid for 8. Now, the teacher's argument is that they need to prepare for the courses. So those 2 extra hours that they don't spend actual teaching is hours that they're still working. They're still grading test papers. They're still coming up with new teaching materials. And to this I have to say, get fucked. Get fucked, teachers. Now, this has to do with the fact that some other teachers have traumatized me when I was young. And because of this, I'm stereotyping. And I think, yes, hashtag all teachers. I know probably some of my subscribers are teachers, and they don't understand why the misdirect anger here. It's like, look, when I went to high school, and I had 8 hours of different classes, and then when I went home, do you know what they made me do? They made me do homework. So 8 hours at school, and then 4 extra hours at home doing homework, studying for various classes, doing all of this extra critical activity because some teacher was a sadist. Like, especially the math teacher. Like, the guy was cruel when it came to homework. The guy was like the homework devil. So now that the tables are turned and they're like, well, what about the thing when we go home? You know what? It's like homework. Like the same homework you give to your students, the same homework you have when you get home. If you teach 6 hours, you should be paid 6 hours. Now, I'm going to be fair here. So, if the government pays teachers less, does that mean that we're going to get taxed less as the citizens? Because, I mean, if they're paying the teachers less, right? Which means that from my taxpayer money, there is now a surplus. A surplus, because not all of it went to education. So do I get to be taxed less? Is Viktor Orban going to be paid less, huh? Crickets. You know where else you can hear crickets? At the NBA. It seems that the NBA finals have their viewerships down by 45%. That's an accomplishment. That is astonishing, though. Like, who is the person in charge? I think they need to get fired and put me. Like, I will rise that viewership by 45%. You know what I would do if I was in charge of the NBA? I would start lecturing people. Like, NBA would be only about politics. I would have the presidential debate on the field. On the basketball course. You'd have the presidential debate. That's how political the NBA should be. Like, just constantly. There would be... You know what? While you're watching the game, there should be a political quiz about immigration. And about anti-racism within the United States. While they're playing. So that other people get educated. People who respond the quiz wrong should not be allowed to leave the building until they get the quiz right. And virtue signal. A lot of virtue signal. Now, I, as the leader of the NBA, wouldn't personally, like, donate any money to, you know, poor folk or heavenly. That is so lame. That is such a boomer thing to do. No, I would just say about how much I care about all of the current political issues that are hot topics and they're trending. I would go on Twitter, I would see what's trending, and that is what I would be on. You know, like, whatever it is. I don't care. Feminism. I'm all about feminism. Like, you can search the entire world and you will not find a better feminist than me. I'm all about getting those women in positions of power. Oh, what's this? The US president nominated a woman in a position of power. Let's see on Twitter. How is it? Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I cannot stand. No, the hypocrisy. See, if I do that, the ratings of the NBA finals will go by 35% upwards. Now you would say, well, V, hold on. You said by 45%. Oh yeah, well, the other 10% would be doing business with China. The American people absolutely love it. Like, they're masturbating when they see that you're doing business with China, especially if you're a progressive company and you have all the right virtue signals. You know, then when you do business with China, because, like, here's the thing, like, a lot of people don't get it. It's like, how can you be progressive and talk about LGBT issues and be anti-racist and then you do business with China, which is oppressing the Uyghur population and they're anti-freedom and whatnot. It's like, yeah, but China pays the homophobia tax. You know, China pays the racism tax. Like, they have money. It's like, look, it's like when you go out and you park in the wrong place, what happens? You pay a fine, right? And then you're free to go. But if you don't pay if you don't have the money to pay the fine, well, you go to jail. You go to jail. So if you go to jail, well, that's the thing. You know, that's how the world should work. People who have money get to do things that people who don't have money don't. That's always the way it was. This is what it means to be progressive. People should just learn to be progressives. Like this guy, right? So this guy in Los Angeles, he's a musician. He's got a lot of money. He thinks, you know what, maybe I should give some money to the community. So he builds these $1,200 tiny houses for the homeless. And apparently he doesn't have a license for them. So the city takes them away from him. Why? Because what he is doing is ridiculous. It's anti-progressive. Like, how can you hope to donate something to someone without a bureaucrat in the middle? Like, what is this? You're cutting off the bureaucrat? You're cutting off the middleman? Do you not know your place? Do you not think that the bureaucrat is starving as well? That does he not need a food on his table? No, the correct way is to give money, to donate money to the government, and then hopefully the money will probably trickle down to the people in need. It's called trickle-down welfare. Learn about it. It's important. And I like trickle-down welfare. And if you just give to the people whatever you want, that is heresy. Like, you're basically saying that the bureaucrats would not be needed. Absolutely horrible. So no, look, I get the argument, okay? Because maybe the house isn't built up to standard and it could collapse on the homeless person. So it's a lot better for the homeless person to sleep under a bridge or in a canal, which are structures far more secure than whatever this guy has built. So I don't want to see people coming up in my mentions and saying that this is unreasonable. No, it's very reasonable. Right? You need a bureaucrat to give you the license so that you can then donate your house to the homeless. The bureaucrat is like the drug dealer. You don't cut off your drug dealer. No one does that. Because if they do, there's going to be consequences. And we are live for one of our greatest shows ever created, Woke or Racist. How's it going, chat? Are you a little bit nervous? Are you ready to win the big prize? Well, all you have to do is to figure out if the following statement belongs to a woke or a racist. The world is created by white people for white people. The correct answer is a woke person. Prince Harry, along with Meghan, have called an end to structural racism in Britain. And they have said that the world is created by white people for white people. Let's give it up for this beacon of light, this fountain of wisdom, which guides us lambs onto the path of purity thinking.
I need to get out.
Okay, here's another question, okay? What type of person would look at this commercial and the problem they would find is with the black man on the logo? Why, cream of wheat itself, of course. And they say, for years, the image of an African-American chef appeared on our cream of wheat packaging. while research indicates the image may be based upon an actual Chicago chef. An actual Chicago chef named Frank White. It reminds some consumers, we don't know how many, we can only assume that they're not racist, but those some consumers do not like it and find it offensive, and as such, Cream of Wheats decided to change their logo. Speaking of advertisement, you know how it's important for diversity to exist, to have like different people from different racial backgrounds into your advertisement campaign. But it's very difficult nowadays to tell whether or not the company is woke or racist. Like, for example, this ad, which happened in the United Kingdom. You know, please keep 2 meters apart. It seems as if it encourages people to social distance. But what if it has other nefarious means? You know, it seems to have some subliminal messages going on. And then you have like, be smart, stay apart. You know, this is really messed up. And it keeps going. It's not just a one-shot thing. It's like the most loving gift you can give to your first child is not to have another. One planet, one child.org. Wow. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, this is a little bit too yikes for me. This looks a little bit gross. Anyway, I need to take a moment to ask my subscribers something. All right? Like, I'm trying to run a serious thing here. And I don't appreciate you guys sending me fake news. I get it. It's fun to troll V. It's fun to try to see if V is going to put up some fake news in This Week is Stupid. But, like, please, stop doing that. Okay? Because this is what I get. You know, I get, like, from all these prestigious blue check marks, you know, on Twitter saying, if they even try to replace RBG, we burn the entire thing down. We're shutting down this country down if Trump and McConnell try to run through an appointment before the election. If McConnell jams someone through, which he will, there will be a riot. You know, like, here's the problem, okay? And you get Alyssa saying that we burned it down. Okay, I cannot fall for fake news. You guys are idiots. Twitter does not allow acts which encourage or promote violence on their platform, all right? They have an entire trust and safety council. They have a team of experts. Do you understand what they are? Expert. Are you an expert? No, they shut the fuck up. Stop sending me fake news, okay? This cannot be happening. Not on Twitter. Now, if you show that this is from 4chan, then maybe I will fall for it, okay? But this is Twitter. It's a prestigious social media, one that has, again, an entire council that makes us feel safe. So therefore, this cannot be real. I'm sorry. No, it's fake news. Into the garbage can it goes. Plop. Meanwhile, here's an actual news. Post boxes painted black to honor Black Britons, because now you look at your skin color and it's like, oh, I'm black, just like the post box. Oh, weren't they used to be red, by the way? I thought they used to be red. Well, you know what? Red people, BTFO. Like, man, I really wish I would have the opportunity to live in London. Because they seem to have a mayor which really has his finger on the pulse. He really is concerned about the important issues that matter. Like, for example, look here, okay? This is a statement on June the 6th, 2020, wherein people from the United Kingdom were protesting over something that happened in the United States. And look here, to the thousands of Londoners who protested peacefully today, I stand with you and I share your anger and your pain. He's an angry white man, isn't he? George Floyd's brutal killing must be a catalyst for change worldwide. No country, city, police service, or institution can absolve itself of the responsibility to do better. We must stand together and root out racism wherever it is found. But then recently there was another protest regarding the governmental shutdowns. And he's like, this is not acceptable. I urge all protesters to leave now. Large gatherings are bad for a reason. You are putting the safety of our city at risk. What a racist, isn't he? He is such a racist, and I'll tell you why. Okay? You know that racism is systemic, right? It's a system. It comes from the top. Who's at the top? The mayor of London. What does the mayor of London do when you have progressive people that are concerned about the black lives and they want to protest? He encourages it, right? He flaunts the social distancing. He doesn't care about people being put at risk. But when there is right-wingers, right, like the what he would consider to be the decent folk, all of a sudden he's concerned, and it's like, no, we are banning large gatherings for a reason. You are putting people at... What is this compassion? What is this compassion coming when people for BLM are protesting? Sadiq Khan, you know, you monster. Because here you are aware that large gatherings are putting people at risk, but when it's the people you don't like that are protesting, you're encouraging it. Not only are you encouraging it, I'm standing with you. I'm standing with you. No, seriously, like, he needs to be held accountable for it. He needs to explain the double standard. He needs to explain why is he showing compassion and he is worried about people getting sick when it's right-wingers and people that are for liberty, but when it's BLM protesters, he flaunts all that, and it's like, no, more of you gather! Gather all! Gather around, there's no problem!
That's why I made it a priority my entire career to work closely with you. From the time I got to the Senate 180 years ago, you know, as well as my tenure as vice president.
Speaking of conspiracy theories, I think the aliens have kidnapped Jim Acosta. And the fact that really no one around him is alarmed by this leads me to assume that this reaches all the way to the top. I mean, look here, okay? In 2017, Trump condemns the 3Ks, white supremacists, commenting on Charlottesville, and says racism is evil. And on October the 1st, 2020, Trump has finally condemned white supremacists. What? Nani? Maybe I should get the CNN fact checkers in order to bring light on this. But oh wait, they're busy. They're busy fact checking. Look here. President Trump claims that Joe Biden called him xenophobic for imposing travel restriction. But apparently it's lacking context. It's lacking context. A multi-billion-dollar news organization with thousands of people employed could not find the context. Damn it. Well, maybe I can do it. Maybe I can do it. I mean, I'm just one guy on a little desk, on a little table here, worried every single day. Will this be the day where YouTube demonetizes me? Will this be the day where YouTube pulls the plug on my channel? You know, so I don't have a lot of power. I mean, I'm not like the CNN, the fact checkers there. No, but like, can I find the context? This, I can. This much I can do. Look here. You got the US president. I always treated the China virus very seriously and have done a very good job from the beginning, including my very early decisions to close the borders from China against the wishes of almost all. Many lives were saved. The fake news narrative is disgraceful and false. And here we have Joe Biden saying, stop the xenophobic fear-mongering. Be honest. Take responsibility. Do your job. CNN, hire me. I will work for you. You don't even have to pay me. You know, just put the logo that I am affiliated. I'm CNN affiliated. And then I can post on YouTube without worried about being censored. Because then I can be a journalist. Then I'm a journalist. And see, if someone bans me, then I'll be like, oh, you're against the freedom of the press. But if someone bans me now, it's like, oh, well, private company can do whatever they want. You know, so I just want to work for CNN. This is my dream and goals and aspirations in life. You know, I will even bring diversity to CNN. How many Romanians work at CNN? How many Romanians work at CNN? You need to hire me. You must hire me. Diversity is going to good for your business. Look, I can even bring you the type of news that CNN is interested in. Look here, bigot. By the way, why is it that when I say look here, bigot, all of you guys are looking? Why is that? Do you not realize that this is a litmus test? I want to see which one is the bigot, and that's like, ha! I got you. Got you. Because you looked. New breed of female drag queens. They're not like the old breed, they're the new breed. Are accused of quote-unquote cultural appropriation by men who've made their careers by dressing up as women. Now, look, I'm not going to editorialize. Like, I'm not going to comment on this. I just bring the news to CNN. I just bring the news to them. That's it. I know this is from 2018, okay? But I just found out. I'm not like This Week is Stupid like Sarga did it. It's like, oh, well, did it happen this week? No, it's like what I find out about. If I found out about it this week, then you're going to get it. All right? And if I can include it within the context, within the great body of work, then you're having it. Look, another good news for CNN. By the way, why do they call him Drumpf? That is so kindergarten level. Like, I would bring it at least to high school level. I would call him the Trumpster. You know, like dumpster, Trumpster. Like, at least you're elevating your insults a little bit. But anyway, turns out that according to the New York Times, he didn't pay a lot in taxes. And a lot of people, a lot of blue check marks were outraged. They were outraged. How is this possible? How is this possible? And apparently Gary Lineker says that he spends 100 times more on his hair each year than he pays tax. Disgraceful. He should get a full refund considering the state of that Barney. So this is the guy, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I guess it takes one to know one. While his fans pay their pennies to the HMRC, the sanctimonious presenter saves a fortune by avoiding tax. Yikes! Yeah! What are we going to do about it? How can we fix this? You know what? I think Gary and the Drumster need to get together and figure out a way to stop people like them from avoiding tax. You know, less time on the Twitter moralizing people who actually do pay taxes like myself. And more time actually figuring it out. Figuring it out, like, how are you going to fix this issue? Finally, there's a very interesting study done by the weforum.org, which shows that the more inclusive a city is, the more likely it is not to be affected by COVID. And I'm like, wow. This is like, cities that have too many fire departments have too much fires type of research, huh? But you know what? I'm going to take the moral lesson here. It's like, take it up the ass to fight COVID, huh? Is this what I'm supposed to get from this? Wow, like brilliant research. Congratulate, wow. A new take on science, what can I say? By the way, if I got a boil and my city has a high inclusivity and tolerance level, will it heal my boil? Is this how it works? Like, is it some messianic level? It's like with bioenergy? How does it function? Like, can we now delve in deeper to see why is it that inclusive cities have less cases? Because I'm really curious. I'm dying to know, like, what about homosexuality and inclusion eradicates a disease that is transmissible by air? Like, I want to know. I want to know now. I think we need to fund the people from weforum.org. Give them more money, more cash, so they can figure out. Now, here's something funny which transpired. Apparently, a lot of communists want movies to be more political. And because one TV show actually got political, they're now really livid and upset. Because, see, you have this gentleman walking in with a Che Guevara t-shirt. And apparently, the Latinx lady from here does not really appreciate. And she utters a word that I didn't even know exists. But, like, you get the hatred and the passion of an entire people to coin such a word. Kami mierda. Like, I knew mierda exists, but I didn't know kami mierda is. And by the way, like, the way it flows from the tongue, it's absolutely beautiful. It makes me want to learn Spanish. It's almost like these two words were made to be together, okay? And because this TV show now gives a lecture on what he did, you know, it's like if you walked into a Jewish home wearing a Hitler t-shirt. Yeah, I mean, this kami mierda wasn't very tolerant to LGBT people. And if you go into the comment section, you're going to see a lot of communists go, it's like, oh yeah, but like for his time, like at the time, being against LGBT people was acceptable. And it's like, really, aren't you the same people that have a problem with Thomas Jefferson and Winston Churchill statues? It's almost like if I could go back in time and I would indoctrinate Thomas Jefferson and Winston Churchill into communism, then you would be okay with their statues today. All of a sudden, everything they did would be viewed through the prism of their time. But other than that, since they were capitalists, bad people. Bad. Bad. Hi, I'm a rebel fighting against the system. You can recognize me because I look almost identical to all the other rebels who fight against the system. You can tell I work against the system because my positions are endorsed by the mainstream media, the academia, big corporations and half the politicians in the country. We also have an unerring bigotry towards the trash receptacle, whether it is the bin on the street or a dumpster that me and my friends pull away in order to set ablaze. You can recognize us by the eternal hatred for the trash receptacle. This is because trash is only found in capitalist countries. You see, you need to have something in order to throw it away. So trash is a reminder that I live in a country of plenty. But anyway, I need to apologize. This Week in Stupid will be cut short. I had a lot more articles to talk about, but unfortunately, I had surgery yesterday, so I don't really feel up to it. Feel a little bit feverish, feel a little bit sleepy. I need to go to bed and recover, regenerate. I do want to thank you all for listening to this. I hope you got entertained. And remember, if you like this video, then please share it around. And if you want, you can even throw a super chat. But if you really, really want this content, then you can get some buyer's remorse by looking into the comment section and right into the description of this video. There is my subscribe star. You know what? Heck, I'll pin my subscribe star into the first comment, right? And I'll use the money that you're giving me in order to put for healthcare. We don't have Bernie Sanders in Romania, okay? Healthcare is costly. Joking, by the way, no joking. Only donate if you like my work, okay? If you like my work, then I appreciate it. In the meantime, I will see you guys in the comment section. So take care. And most importantly, stay healthy. You don't understand how important health is until you are 34 and you're experiencing your mid-age crisis and you get the hopefully benign tumor. Okay, then you understand. Okay, maybe health is important.